Let's go to Kansas City, Missouri, where Earl is waiting. Earl, how can we help?
Thanks for taking my call. Basically, the question is this. I'm a minister, and I work in a nonprofit organization. My question has to do with this. You guys have an ethos there in your with Ramsey Solutions. I have a Christian culture because I hear you guys use a lot of phrases and whatnot, so I can use some language that. So when I say a servant's heart, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My question has to do with what is the relationship, if any, between having a servant's heart and, say, not receiving a promotion that you thought or you should have received, or being demoted from the position that you're in. If your employer says, "Yeah, this is what happened, but you need to have a servant's heart about this," how exactly is that processed within that mode of thinking? Where are the lines? How does that fit together?
So
I want to know.
So you were demoted on a church staff, and they said you need to handle this with a servant's heart. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm about possibly to be demoted.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to.
Why are you being demoted?
Information. Why?
Yeah.
Changes in administration above me.
But why are you being demoted?
Other than changes with folks above me, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure.
I mean, is it? Are they
cutting
back?
I run a discipleship. I'm sorry?
Is it cutting back on cost? Are they trying to?
They're going in a different leadership direction. You're not performing up to the standards that they want. It's saying a new leadership team came in.
Yeah, there's more to it than that.
Right. And be honest and reflective.
What happened was, basically, an administrator, one position above me, put forth a promotion for me to do a different job.
Okay.
So right now I run a whole program for men.
Okay.
If I was to be put in this position, I would like do 1/3 of the work that I was doing before. I'm trying to be vague just in case.
Sure. Okay, got it.
So it's not a matter of my performance, I can assure you of that. But this one person put forth this idea that, well, we can put this person here, and then we can have 4 people doing case management. Because right now I just don't do case management. I do everything. Mm-hmm. I teach a ton of classes. I do so many different things.
So, but are you being asked to do more work for less money, or are they just edging you out? I'm confused at what's happening.
I was trying not to be too specific because of time constraints.
Sure. Okay. Well. Okay. Go ahead.
So basically, there's a different program where clients go to for 9 months after my program. My program is 6 weeks long.
Okay.
Basically, I assess what caused the homelessness. Usually it's addictions or mental disorders, or a combination of both or other things. Then for the next 6 weeks, I take care of discipling them, telling them about Christ, teaching, having them classes on addiction, classes on many, many different things.
Okay.
I help them get all the things they need to be prepared for the next.
And so is the church saying that we don't want to do those things anymore?
No, the church is saying we want to take your program and the next program and put them together.
Okay.
Yeah. So you no longer will run this program, but you'll be a case manager in the next program.
There you go. Okay.
All right. So right now I run the whole program.
Okay. Right. So Earl, here's my take on your initial question. John, you weigh in here, but Earl, it feels manipulative to me. It's Christianese. I grew up in the church, so I feel like I can say this. You can have a servant's heart. You should have a servant's heart. We should all have a servant's heart, okay? But you still have a heart. And this is a demotion, and you don't like it. And it's obvious, and you don't have to like it. Now, what you have to decide, though, is they've made this decision. Sounds like it's being made. And I've got to decide, can I serve there? Can I get my head and heart right after I deal with this disappointment? And do I feel like I'm supposed to be there? Do I feel called to this particular place versus I know the work that I love to do and what I'm called to do? So I don't like the way it sounds because the bottom line is this feels kind of crappy. And you're going to have to decide, do I want to stay here because of this? Now, don't leave because you're hurt. I think you need to leave if you feel like the work I'm supposed to be doing, the work that I'm challenged by, I'm not able to do here anymore, so I'm going to look elsewhere. But to answer your question at its simplest form, how do you process that? You can have a servant's heart and still think it's pretty crappy.
You can
and you don't have to act like a jerk.
Yeah, be heartbroken and be angry and pissed off and frustrated.
Yeah.
The servant's heart part, yeah, and I agree with you, Ken.
I feel it's manipulative.
That's just nonsense. Yeah, it's manipulative nonsense. I hate that crap. The reality is, though, you can have all those feelings and experiences. You still have an obligation to treat people with dignity and respect.
That's right.
And you still have to deal with reality.
Yeah.
And the reality is, you worked really hard. This was your baby. You loved it. And a new group of managers came in and said, we're gonna contract everything together and move you into a different role. And so heartbreaking, it's hard, sad, it feels personal, it's going to be vulnerability, shame, all this stuff. And you're going to say, I appreciate you being honest with me and telling me that. And I've got some decisions to make.
That's right.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I wish it was more complex than that, but it's not.
It isn't. And don't blow up the bridge. But, you don't have to not say, or push back. And if there is some, I'm reading into this, John.
I am too. I've been there too. I hate, oh gosh.
But if the decision has yet to be made, and if they were just going, you need to handle this with a servant's heart, and they're going, don't push back, well,
or don't ask questions.
You can ask questions, and you should, and you can still have a humble spirit,
yes.
and you can be civil and ask questions and push back. But it just felt like to me it was a blanket statement that was just like, hey, dude, here's the deal.
Yeah.
You don't get any say in this, which I understand. Leaders have to make decisions. But to put a
wallpaper Jesus over it. That's it.
Yeah, that's my issue.
When you make a business decision in a nonprofit, and then you wrap people's human reaction and make it a moral or spiritual issue, drives me crazy because it's weaponizing.
Yes, thank you.
It's weaponizing kindness. It's weaponizing the gospel. It's weaponizing humanity. Don't do that. If you're going to make a business decision, look at somebody and say, you've worked really hard and we appreciate it. We're going a different direction.
So true. And let me just throw a shot at leaders out there. Don't you dare, whether it's a faith-based organization or not, don't you dare treat people like crap and wrap it in the flag of the cause.
So stupid.
You
got me all fired up here, Earl. Thinks I was having a great Wednesday, and then Earl calls. No, I'm glad you called, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Earl, you'll get through this, man. Do not let this decision in any way define you.
And treat people with dignity and respect, brother, no matter what happens.